Good morning, everyone. Today is May the 28th. It's Monday, so happy Monday, everyone. It's also Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day to everyone that partakes or celebrates that holiday. I know it's a holiday weekend for us in the US, so it's been a long weekend, and honestly, I completely forgot about that yesterday when I tried to go to breakfast, which I guess was like the totally worst thing to do. I don't know, it totally slipped my mind that it was a holiday weekend. So for all of y'all that do celebrate Memorial Day and all that goodness and whatnot, I hope you guys are having a wonderful time with all the barbecues and all that nice stuff. So I hope it's just been a nice, fun gathering with families and whatnot. That's usually what it is. So I hope everyone's been having fun with their family. Let's get into, I guess, the cards and just the energies of today. With the planetary transits, the most notable thing is just that the moon is entering Sagittarius. We're beginning the full moon phase or cycle. So even though tomorrow is when, it's officially the full moon, when the moon officially opposes the sun, but today is when it officially enters Sagittarius. This full moon is really in the early decade of of Sagittarius. So I also feel like that's meaningful, especially when we look at what Sagittarius means as far as on the axis of Gemini and Sagittarius, with Gemini being, where the ideas are formed. Sagittarius is where it's experienced. And so I'm feeling like everything that we've been thinking, all this stuff, especially this is the unconscious or the subconscious card place. And that's where, King of Swords is giving me that energy, that air energy. I mean, that's a mature Gemini energy if you want to look at it in context with the current energy now. But I mean, I even see this as like Aquarius energy, like Aquarian energy, which is actually interesting, with all of the shift having felt like it just got kicked into gear when Uranus moved into Taurus. Or even just the way that I feel like there's lightning, and the thing that drew my eye was the way that this light was coming off of the sword, almost like it's being struck. Like Thundercats just came into my mind. I've never even watched Thundercats like that. It's a little bit ahead of my time. Not even ahead of my time, but I wasn't watching that show. But that's what it made me think of. It made me think of, receiving this Aquarian energy in our mental body, like our mental space, and then being able to actually move forth with this King of Swords energy. But let's just start at the beginning of the spread here. Keep it short and sweet, or try to today. So again, we're seeing that Seven of Wands. So I definitely was telling you guys that need to really stand in your power, that need to have conviction. You have to have conviction. You have to work the power, A lot of these cards I keep pulling have this real, like, electricity feel, this spark, the spark. And so it just makes me think you have to be the one to carry the spark. Ultimately, I do feel like a lot of these changes are, fated, or, all, divinely designed and timed and all of that. I definitely believe in that. But it does require a little bit of free will for it to go a little bit smoother. So I just feel like that you got to stand up. You've already received the messages. You've already known, I feel, because this is the conscious. You know that you have to kind of stand up to something or someone, or you have to stand up for yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean that, it's the world against you, but it's just, it's not a victim complex. Like, that's not at all what I'm trying to say at all here. But just even when you look at this card, it's just having to manifest the power within themselves to keep going. The Seven of Wands in the Rider-Waite deck has the man with the wand beating down, like, the 6 other wands that are coming up at him. I mean, really needing to stay strong, persevere. So back to this King of Swords energy with the unconscious. I'm seeing this in just I'm seeing a few different things. I mean, the King of Swords is just he's understanding. I feel that he's understanding because I always look at the King of Swords as like he's not emotional. He's not the King of water. The King of Cups where he's sensitive and like not emotional, like super over emotional, but like he's got that emotional feel. The King of Swords, he gives me that like he's aware, like he has compassion in the sense that like I feel like the King of Swords is aware that you can't just have logic without emotion. Like you can't just be logical the way that some of the other cards in the sword the sword's journey can be like, well, I can give the truth, but there's a time and place for things. There's a way of saying things. But just to go back to the context of this reading, with this being in the unconscious position, I am definitely feeling like we're having to really wield our truth. I'm seeing this like, the Ace of Truth that we have received. Or not even received, but that we found. If you want to be Excalibur kind of about it, like you went and you found the sword, now you've got to, I don't even know the story, but I'm just thinking maybe more of like Legend of Zelda, where like the Zelda sword or the sword is stuck somewhere and only those that the sword belongs to is able to pull it out. That's kind of what I'm looking at. So like now that we've received our truth, our personal truth, now it's time for us to act on it, to move like I think I posted on Olivia, if you guys follow OGC Astrology, I think I posted on her comments like it's time to walk it like I talk it. It's time to really, you know what I mean? With these together, it's definitely to me like, okay, you feel big and bad, not even big and bad, but like you feel this King of Swords energy. So now it's time to act like it, I keep looking at these dragons in the back, trying to figure out if they're like leaving or if they're going, but I'm kind of seeing them as them leaving. Almost as if like leaving to go spread whatever their truth is, even the way like this tornado is kind of going through. I don't know that's a tornado, but it doesn't seem very malicious or antagonistic, If we just move on now to just the overall theme. I guess I could just start with this card and then move into these. But we have the Four of Coins in reverse. So, again, my mind's getting foggy. I'm not sure if this was in the weekly reading. I believe this may have been in the weekly forecast in reverse as well. I'm not sure. Somewhere I pulled this card recently in the very same position. So I feel like that's definitely the energy that's being activated now as far as to stop feeling so bad for ourselves. And being, oh, woe is me about things. And being like, oh, someone needs to come help me out. I feel like we're letting that go. Or the whole idea that someone has to like help us. Or not that we shouldn't receive help. It's just, I feel like very much this is about us finding our own power, our own source of power. Everyone needs help. We all receive help. We all receive assistance and guidance. So that's not even the case of where, oh, I do this by myself. I earned this by myself. But it's like no longer looking for the map, no longer looking for the directions from someone or from something, or looking for all the answers to, you don't need to know. If that hasn't been made clear to you in your own personal life, this is me telling you, or me telling myself that I don't need to know all the answers. You don't need to know. The whole point is you're supposed to go with your intuition and just go with the flow and see what happens. Not necessarily see what happens, but it's just, I just feel like if we really knew what was coming, we would either run from it or we wouldn't know how to deal. And so we just kind of have to go with the flow and just trust. With Four of Wands, bottom of the deck, it's always a great card to have. In this particular deck, it's not, very relationship oriented, which I appreciate, just because, I just appreciate focusing on how our solo journeys affect us, and then we can move into that kind of thing. That's just my way of, oh, wow, see? Wow, with the star, with Temperance? What? Okay, anyway, I'm just, Four of Wands. Anyway, I'm seeing this as finally having reached, not like an oasis, because, you could see this as like an oasis. I'm seeing this as like we finally reached the portal. We finally got here. And now it's just almost time to walk through. That's the way I'm seeing this. Like, if you look in my cards in this deck, the way that, especially if I were able to show you like the full card or any of the major arcana cards where it looks like they're walking through like a portal. I really wish I could find one. If you guys have been watching these videos for a minute, I feel like you would have seen them, because I mention it, or I try to mention it every time I see it, because it's always interesting to me. Here we go. We just take the Hierophant. Interesting a lot. Ironically enough, you see like the way that they make this like etheric, like outer space kind of portal doorway. That's the way I'm seeing this Four of Wands. Like we're at the doorway now. We're at the entrance. We just are waiting, not waiting, but we're about to start the adventure. And not just the adventure where it would just be like an ace, or it could be like a very new feeling, but this is fours are of stability, of balance, of grounding. And so I'm feeling like we finally made it. Like we made it through the trials of fire, if you want to look at it that way. But I'm more so just looking at this as like, not even necessarily a checkpoint, but like if you wanted to mark today as like the last day before whatever this adventure we're leading into is. That's what I would do. That's what I'm going to do. When I journal today, I'm going to probably mark this spread and be like, yeah, got the Four of Wands, gave me this real portal feeling. I need to remember, or I need to be aware that today might be the last day I get to remain in this, I don't know, like the calm before the storm. So, yeah. I could go into, like, the rest of these that were underneath just because, like, geez, okay. You know what I mean? But, nah, it's already at 14 minutes, so I would just let you guys go. Again, I want to say thank you for watching and supporting and liking and commenting and all that stuff. I really do appreciate it. Trying to think, is there anything else? I should probably just keep, like, a note, like, nearby, so I can just read it. But, as usual, you can follow me on Instagram at Gladiator and Sweats. I'm also offering readings right now. You can find all of that information on my Instagram as well. In my highlights and my stories if you want to find that information. Otherwise, I believe that is it. I will try to link the weekly forecast into the description box so it's easier. I do, suggest that you watch it. I feel like it's a lot of information was received as far as like what to be expecting, as far as how it's going to feel. Not necessarily, oh, this is how your day's going to go, but even just looking at yesterday's and today's daily reading, this definitely vibes with, what I was getting with this weekly feeling as we enter in. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. Um, Fingers crossed, low key, that I get to these full moon readings. It's actually on my mind to just spend today doing that. And they might not be very long. It might just be like 10 minutes each for each sign. But I really want to do something for everyone, personally, for this full moon. I feel like that's really what people are like. I mean, it's always what people are looking for. So I just want to give a little bit of something for you guys, for no cost. So yeah, again, let's work on not rambling, Jasmine. Anyway, sending you guys so much love and wishing you guys many, many blessings today. Just enjoy today. Enjoy the energy of today. Stand in your will. Develop your will. Not develop your will, but, just really stand strong in who you are, in the truth of who you are that you've realized up until this point. And, be ready for this shift, be ready to go through this portal. We're going through a portal, y'all. So, I mean, we're always going through portals, but this is significant. So act like you know, guys. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.